You're now listening to N21FM, a Pokemon podcast. My name is Glenn, and I'm joined as always by my wonderful co-host Johnny. Good to see you, buddy. How you doing this week?
I'm doing all right. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. It's been a pretty busy week for me. We're recording a little later than we normally are. Had some stuff going on with the family, but we don't got to talk about that. It's been a good week, though. Lots of exciting stuff in the world of the Pokemon franchise that we get to talk about today. I'm really stoked to get into some of that. We've got some topics of discussion, some news, what we're playing, and then some predictions to wrap everything up for Frankfurt Regionals. And I'm really stoked to get all of that stuff. Any particular section you're really excited about this week? We've got kind of a lot on the dock today.
Oh man. Honestly, I think one of our first kind of coming segments here, this discussion of a specific favorite Pokemon of
Yes.
The Pokemon companies and a lot of people's apparently now.
Yeah, apparently.
It's got me hooked.
I'm really excited about
So,
that. We'll dedefinitely have to make some time to talk about that. It'll be interesting because at the time we're recording this, there's not a lot known, but by the time it hits free feeds, this Pokemon could already have a really cool announcement have been made about it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Remember, by the way, folks at home, if you're new here and you end up liking what you see or hear, leave us a like, leave a comment on YouTube or Spotify, subscribe, follow the podcast on Spotify. And if you're really looking to support us, you can check us out over on patreon.com/terminalcreative. $1 a month can get you early access to every episode and access to our bonus show N21 Plus, where we do some bonus content, some really fun extra episodes that are a little more laid back, usually talking about some stuff outside of the games played in Pokemon. I think coming up here soon, hopefully maybe by the end of September, maybe sometime closer into October, Johnny and I will be doing a spoiler cast for Season 2 of Pokemon Concierge. I'm really excited about that. That'll be over there. You can check us out, patreon.com/terminalcreative. That's at the $1 a month tier. That's pretty good value. $5 a month gets you those same benefits as well as the audience participation tier. So you can write into the show, have your questions read. It also gets you early access to our guest list each month so that you can have an idea of who you might want to ask questions to and what questions you might want to ask them. And then finally, if you want to go that extra mile, we do have finally a producer tier open where if you want to really just support us, help us reach some long-term goals, you can get all those same benefits and get your name read at the end of the show for $15 a month. Pretty exciting stuff. I hope you'll consider joining us and supporting us over there at patreon.com/terminalcreative. But without further ado, I guess we can kind of get into some topics of discussion. Talking, I think first up on the docket is actually this Pokemon you were so eager to speak with, the Pokemon you might be friends with, that I know I'm certainly friends with. He's a very good friend of mine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Pokemon Company kind of recently dropped a little bit of a teaser campaign around everyone's favorite Pokemon, Malamar.
Yeah.
And it seems like this might be kind of a big reveal around Malamar, especially with Pokemon Legend ZA coming up. And with spoilers and leaks coming out, there was some info about Malamar kind of revealed that it would be getting a Mega Evolution. So this seems to kind of confirm that theory. But the campaign around this, I think, is a lot of fun. I've been actually really enjoying this because it's kind of hit pretty much every Pokemon sphere that anyone who engages with the franchise, I think, would probably see. What was it? They dropped a couple of articles about it on the website. They have released a YouTube video involving people who are fans of Malamar. And their
which is
various
such a
fandoms,
cool
and
video.
even,
so good.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was a lot of fun to watch that. And even partnering with content creators, it seems. Pokemon themselves have gone so far with this campaign that if you go and look on their website, or not on their website, but rather their Twitter page, for those of you who use Twitter, or X as it's called now.
I think it might be their Blue Sky as well.
It probably is their Blue Sky as well. They have inverted the standard logo on their account, and they have written out their bio upside down.
That's so sick.
They are going all in on this.
Also, even like there's several there's even more that I realized on Pokemon.com. This is so funny. This is actually, I guess, breaking at the time of recording. So if you go to Pokemon's website right now at Pokemon.com, there is in our doc, we already noted that there's an article about the top 5 greatest Pokemon evolutions, and all 5 of them are Malamar. Top 5 best Pokemon cards of all time, and they're all Malamar cards. And now I'm looking at Pokemon.com, and there is a series of clips from the anime of Malamar's marvelous moments, and a quiz you can take, actually. Are you Malamar's #1 fan? And then scroll down a little bit where it shows you the featured Pokemon on the website. And there's an Iron Hands present, but the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots on this little carousel display are all Malamar.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see. I'm really excited to see what comes of my best friend Malamar being so popular right now. I'll have to get a little Malamar plushie to put up over there beside Toto. It'll be great.
Oh, absolutely. This is
that'll be super fun.
Such a fun campaign too.
Yeah.
The cards they talk about are fun cards, and they even I think one of my favorite bits really is the fact that, like, with the top 5 Pokemon cards of all, or trading card game cards of all time that are featured on the website, there's 2 that are functionally the same card with Malamar on them, where it's just one is the what is that, the Hidden Fates Malamar. That's the reprint of the Sun and Moon Forbidden Light Malamar.
It's the shiny one.
Yeah, both with the Psychic Recharge ability. This card being super, super popular during
isn't that
its
Optimal
time.
Malamar?
Optimal Malamar, big support Pokemon in the 2019 champion season, and then also, or championship season, and then also this is Optimal Malamar in GLC lists as a Psychic Energy accelerator
so
for
funny.
your decks there. So it's super cool. I'm really digging this.
Yeah.
I'm really digging this this campaign. I mentioned to you when we kind of discussed this a little bit the other day, but I'm a huge fan of ARGs. Anytime that any sort of branding or creative artist or whoever really like announces an ARG, especially ones that are, this one's not like crazy involved with any puzzles, but it just is a way to kind of like hype up stuff, and this is such a fun and clever way. They are saturating the feed with it, rather than doing kind of what they did for the last 2, where the last 2 were almost like blind drops of mega evolutions. I think the Victorville got like a single animation that came out before right
they had a couple of teaser images going up with like the really spooky looking haunted house with the poison stains and stuff like that. But it wasn't a lot of fanfare. I think what's so cool about this is that we get so much just over the topness from it.
Absolutely.
Like, I think this campaign would not be near as cool. And they also kind of owe it, ironically, like, I think Malamar, in this sense, requires kind of the respect of doing an all-out campaign, because the premise of the campaign is predicated on, like, everybody loving Malamar, this, like, not unlovable, but certainly, like, sinister-looking Pokemon, and evil-looking guy, and then being like, oh no, everybody loves him, he's my best friend, I adore him, and there's all these hearts on the website. Even TCG Live has, like, the playmat is all hearts and Malamar faces, and it's just, like, if you didn't do the absolute most and span it across every inch of the franchise, I don't think that it lands very well at all. So I'm excited to see that when they turn Malamar into a big old cutie. And actually, even tomorrow, Wednesday, September 10th, as of the time of we're recording this, that's tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. There'll be a video that should be apparently about 4 minutes long. That'll be a big reveal for our best friend Malamar here. So by the time you're seeing this on free feeds, you might even already know what our best friend looks like. And you should let us know in the comments below what you think of our best friend Malamar's new outfit.
Yeah, no. I think this will be a great way to reveal this Mega Evolution, and I don't think if it truly is a reveal for Mega Evolutions, which I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of
convinced.
people are. Yeah. I think that I don't know. I'm just looking at like all the stuff that they have released and posted about this, and it's
they even released the Malamar shoulder sitting plushie that has like the magnet you put under your shirt and it sits there, which is so cute.
That's so fun.
That's just so funny.
Scrolling through some more social feeds and stuff, and Pokemon UK changed their what was it? Their thumbnail to a picture of Malamar, and then just changed the bio to #1 Malamar fan account in the UK and Ireland.
That's awesome.
So they've really gone all in on this across the brand. They clearly want to drive home just how much this campaign is supposed to land. So I'm hoping that this will be a really big one. This kind of campaign definitely doesn't work if you do it multiple times, right? So we're not going to see this again for any other big reveals, I wouldn't expect. But I think that this is like, if you were going to do it for any sort of big reveal, right, this probably is the right Pokemon to do it for. Like you said,
certainly,
Malamar is this evil looking dude. He's always associated with, bad characters and bad intentions, and the whole idea is you're taking this cute little, squid guy and evolving him by flipping him upside down and literally inverting the good and evil in this Pokemon, I suppose. Because Inkay is just so cute, and Inkay looks so like, it's just happy and all whatnot all the time. But I'm hoping that maybe with this Mega Evolution, it like changes all that up, and the heart features are actually supposed to be like, oh no, it's now nice again or something like that. That would be really fun to see.
That'd be really cute. I'd be super into that. It would also be really funny if it turned out to just be like even more villainous. I think that'd be a really fun juxtaposition.
Yeah, absolutely.
But certainly really cool. A really interesting ARG campaign. A really interesting Pokemon to have a Mega Evolution for, potentially. I'm really excited about it. By the way, speaking of ARGs, I think you'll get a kick out of this. For friends of the show, Dunsparce and Drampa, the new GM, Serene Grace, aka Grace, actually did an ARG in the Discord server for some Season 2 or Series 2 reveal stuff, and it's really cool. You should check it out if you get a chance to.
I'll have to find my way over there for sure.
It's super cool. By the way, folks at home, if you haven't listened to that interview yet, you should definitely check it out. It is some really cool exclusive stuff on the end of Campaign 1 and some intro stuff on Campaign 2 that I think you'll really, really enjoy if you're a fan of Pokemon and TTRPGs and just good people having a good laugh. So I think with that out of the way, with the next kind of topic we have for discussion here, unless you have anything else on our best friend Malamar.
No.
The next topic we wanted to talk about briefly. I want to make sure we do keep this kind of brief, so let's keep it to like 10 minutes if we can. This is easily a topic that could take up an entire episode, and I also just don't want the negativity of this to kind of poison the well of what this episode's going to be. And that is that scalpers are continuing to plague the Pokemon TCG, becoming a problem for players and collectors alike. There is an article via PokeBeach where that says here, let's see, I'm trying to see, scalper groups clear out phantasmal flames from Pokemon Center before release. This is straight from PokeBeach.com, written by Water Pokemon Master on September 3rd. Saying that there was a Discord group called like the Hidden Society that collectively purchased about 42,000 Phantasmal Flames products And the admin of the group, Robier West, in case that's an indicator at all of the moral quality of this person, brags on there, and he says a lot of things with a lot of expletives, of course, that I'll like to omit from the show. But he says, here's the gist of what he says. He says, "This is our holiday season. Let the criers cry and the whiners whine. They can go tell their moms what happened today while we reap the profits." And that really puts on display the exact caliber of person that you get when you are interacting with these Pokemon scalpers who are going out to buy up all these cards and then sell them back. And it's clear that it's not even just people who are there to buy cards for collections. This is not collectors going overboard. This is not players hogging the product because they need to have playables. This is people who are exclusively in this game to buy cards and then sell them back to people and get profits.
Yep.
And I don't know. This disgusts me. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a lot going on with this. I mean, so let's break it down from just the point of how they were able to do this, right? I don't know the logistics of it. I don't know how the Pokemon Center is going to handle it. I am sincerely hoping that they cancel these orders, just for the sake of the average buyer, because I think a lot of people are going to be upset about this. And you know, if this is you know more for the people in those kinds of groups to laugh at us for saying, then I don't really care. Whether that because I hope they have a bad day. But the act of making these purchases, while these were apparently not supposed to be standard purchases, right? They somehow tricked the purchasing system on the Pokemon Center website and were able to purchase these orders, because at the time, these orders were not available, strictly speaking.
Yeah, I'd like to point out Phantasmal Flames isn't even available anywhere.
Yeah.
There's not really a way to even get those products.
Yeah, the drops for Phantasmal Flames, I believe, started coming out this week, or will start coming out next week, for standard like retail websites and stuff like that. And the Pokemon Center generally does maybe a week before. But from what I understand, and what PokeBeach says, the checkout system was tricked, which means that the purchases may not even be considered legitimate by the Pokemon Center, or at least by like what Pokemon Center strictly considers legitimate purchases. I don't know like their terms of service for using their website to purchase, but that could easily be seen by them as fraud. And if that's the case, I truly hope that these people face every single ounce of comeuppance for that, because it's just this is just, it goes beyond, right? It goes beyond what this hobby is about. It's for these people, it's purely a profit engine, because they know everyone else wants to try to collect the cards, wants to try to get their hands on just a little bit, and these people are perfectly fine exploiting that to the highest degree.
Yeah.
Man,
it's disgusting. I don't want to harp on it too bad, just because, again, I want to. This is a pretty exciting week, at least for the show, and I don't want to, like I said, sully kind of the good mood of this episode with conversation about scalpers. But it's tough to see even what a good solution could be for this. There's obviously, in previous instances of something similar to this happening, they've been able to cancel a lot of the bot orders. They've been able to take care of that. They've been able to reprint sets, which does work, by the way. Reprinting the sets even further does continue to work and devalue their product, because eventually they will just have product and no one to sell it to, as long as the players are careful and vote with their wallets. And it's noteworthy that they might even have legal grounds for repercussions legally, in the sense that this could be considered fraud. This could be considered tampering with their system. And like, I don't know if espionage is the correct word, but technological infiltration of their system and breach of
Yeah.
security is certainly on the
Yes.
table. I'm not a lawyer,
Yeah.
so I can't like say for certain, but
No, but
these are things that you should really be careful with, and I hope that the
Mhm.
Pokemon Company takes action
Yes.
so that if nothing else, they can make an example out of these people and
Yes.
be like, hey, we're not scared to sue you into poverty
Mhm.
and oblivion and take you for everything you're worth
Yeah.
because you keep
We all
meddling in
know.
our game and hurting our actual customer base.
Yeah. We all know just how litigious the Pokemon Company can be when they when they really want to be, right? They
Yes.
sent C&Ds over things like Pal World being as egregious of a clone as it was of Pokemon. They will C&D and copy strike people who have anything that remotely resembles Pokemon on a Google Play Store app of some kind. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they are adamant about protecting their brands and about protecting their look, so much so that I think like it's you know, it goes along with like the standard from like, you know, Nintendo as well, you know, the parent part of the, at least part of the parent company to Pokemon, you know, they all of that branding is really yeah, really protective. So I do genuinely hope that maybe we see something that kind of comes up from this. As
Yeah.
far as solutions go, on this Poke Beach article, there's some people that highlight some solutions about what TPCI could do, and I think some of these are really good solutions. I think some of them maybe not so much. I'm a big fan of, and I think you said you were a fan of this as well the other day when we were discussing it a little bit. No rarity sets, right?
Yeah.
Sets that are base cards with no rare special rarities, not even holofoil, right? Um, Simply just baseline rarity of whatever, right? You get a
Mm-hmm.
baseline rarity of your, you know, your Charizard EX, right? There's no other special rarities of the Charizard EX in the set. It's just
Yeah.
going to be Charizard EX. You're going to get the baseline rarity of Charmander. There's no holofoil for Charmander. There's no SIR for Charmander. I think a set like that would definitely be a big step in the right direction for the player base, at least, if not for collectors.
Yeah.
But I think some collectors would still be interested in that, even then, because it's an opportunity to collect like min rarity stuff if you're a collector who's big on getting every single possible version of a specific card,
Sure.
you know.
I
But even then,
also,
that still
yeah, go ahead.
runs away from scalping a little bit. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead too.
No, I think that's, you're so totally right. I definitely am an advocate for this kind of an idea,
Hmm.
but I also don't want to get carried away. I want to,
Yeah.
I would be remiss to not point out this is a huge drastic measure to do like a no
Yes.
rarity set.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
hope that it doesn't come to that. I really would
No.
like to live in a world where legal actions are taken and the website security is updated in a way that we don't have to have a minimum rarity set where even the EXs are matte and not holofoil at
Hmm.
all. Like, I would like to live in a world where we don't have that, or that like the hit rates are so inflated that you can get whatever you want out of one pack. I don't want to live in a world where, well, I don't know, the hit rates thing sounds kind of cool, but I don't want to do something like that, which could cause serious damage to the ecosystem of Pokemon.
Yeah.
If we can help it, I would like to instead see, because that also doesn't deal with the scalpers. Because if the scalpers decide
No.
to, they can just be like, well, I'm just going to get this product anyways because people want it.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
then you also further alienate collectors too.
Hmm.
So that's not the most elegant solution, but it is an idea.
Yeah.
And I hope that we don't have to come to that. I hope that
Yeah.
security is upgraded, that legal action is taken, and that scalpers stay out of our game.
Yeah. For sure.
Because it is causing a lot of serious damage to the brand, and I
Hmm.
know the Pokemon Company does not like that. So I am
No.
eager to see what they start doing about these kinds of issues in the coming weeks and months.
I I think we'll probably see like some actual answers, some sort of solutions coming about within the next few months,
Sure.
certainly within the next, I would say within the next quarter, just on a financial basis, right?
Hmm.
They've already discussed having printing issues potentially
Yeah.
with sets. One of the big worries was that Phantasmal Flames would be late on a print run in
Yeah.
be delayed in Europe, I believe, because of the general issues with trying to print enough product right now in order to get enough of it out to everyone. And part of the reason is because they're trying to still print product for sets that have already been scalped, like prismatics, evolutions, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it is worth noting that they will start looking at solutions, or have probably already started looking at some solutions, because
Certainly.
they simply don't want those issues to compound. If their printing cycles get more and more backed up, that's a serious financial issue for them.
Right. And when it starts to hurt their bottom line,
Mm-hmm.
that's when like it becomes really bad to not only be in the game but also to be a scalper. You should be
Yes.
very afraid if you start to hurt their bottom line.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
with that said, I think I'm hopeful for the future of the situation, but I don't want to dwell on it too long. I want to move on. We're doing some
Yeah.
new stuff, kind of getting into the news here this week. We've got a lot actually of news, starting
Mm-hmm.
with, and I know seems weird because we do dunk on scalpers a lot, but this is more for our collector friends. I want to make it
Yes.
explicitly clear that if you're a scalper, you should click off this video and stay far away from my channel. I don't want you here. I
Yeah.
don't. If you're on Patreon, which I don't think you would be, I want you to stay far away from our Patreon. I don't want your money. You stay away from me. But we wanted to start kind of going over some collection highlights for folks who are collectors who may
Mm-hmm.
have some interesting cards. CCG Player posts every week their biggest price spikes. So this is for the week of September 4th, 2025. We're looking at a couple of big spikes in price. Now, at the time of Free Fees receiving this episode, there will be another article of this posted, I'm sure, because they come out every
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, same as our show. But there's a couple of cards listed, and a lot of them are Charizard EXs. The first one
Yes.
is the Special Illustration Rare Charizard EX from 151, now sitting at a market price of 290. There's the Paldean Fates Special Illustration Rare Charizard EX, sitting at about 283 now, up from like 206, it seems like.
Yeah.
It looks like
Yeah.
the Obsidian Flames SIR Charizard EX is up to 126, up from about 98. The Generations Ultra Rare of Gardevoir EX is now up to $60, up from around 50. The Mega Gardevoir EX from Generations, the Ultra Rare, is up to 112 from around 91. The Lugia V Ultra Rare from Silver Tempest is up to 397 from around 309. And then this is an interesting one rounding out the list, and then we'll kind of talk about what our thoughts are on these cards, is
Mm-hmm.
the Ethan's Ho-Oh EX Special Illustration Rare from Destined Rivals, up to 182 from about 150, 153.
Yeah.
So a pretty interesting array of cards. Like a lot of concentration in Gardevoir and Charizard,
Yeah.
and then like the two Gen 2 guys. So I think that's
Yeah.
really funny. All the old heads got their
Mm-hmm.
collections really doing well right now.
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts on these cards? Are there any of these that you own in your collection? Any that you're excited to see more progress of if they become more expensive or cheaper? I know we have a mutual friend and friend of the show, April B, who
Mm-hmm.
owns, I think, are these both Akiras, or is it just the Paldean Fates that's an Akira Toriyama, or not Akira Toriyama,
Ogawa.
Akira
Yeah,
Agawa?
I
Yeah,
believe both are Akira's. In
yeah,
fact, yes. Akira Egawa. Sorry, excuse me.
Agawa.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I
Both of
know
those are Akira arts.
she's a big
Which,
fan of
yeah.
Akira. Akira makes some
Hmm.
really cool artworks. So, do you have
Oh,
any of these guys in your
absolutely.
collection though?
I do not. I would absolutely love if I did. I think out of all of the ones on this list, probably my favorite in terms of like just card design style. Honestly, the Lugia V is like a fan favorite, and I know
Yeah.
why this card is always like so dang expensive. I would love to own one of these,
Hmm.
but this is just such a cool design, especially when like V's didn't get a ton of like really cool like I don't want to say they didn't get a ton of cool like illustration rares because that's not true. They got some cool ones, but a lot of like the cool V illustration rares tend to be like the trainer gallery, the Sword and Shield like
Yeah.
trainer gallery stuff. This is an example of a card that was printed with a special illustration in a set with its base rarity or base version, where not a lot of other cards really got that in the series of V Pokemon.
That's
So
true.
it's a big standout for that. I think. I mean, Lugia V looks cooler than the Lugia V Star cards.
It's
It's
true.
unfortunate that they don't have a V Star counterpart to Lugia V, just because you have to like if you're playing like max rarity decks, you have to put like a gold V Star on top of this thing, and this thing looks stunning in comparison to
Yeah,
that. So
truly.
um, outside of that, I would say honestly the Mega Gardevoir EX, just because it's featuring two Gardevoir. It's
Yeah, the
just
lesbians
that
Mega
much
Gardevoir
cooler.
is awesome. It's pretty
It's so
cool.
cool. It's such a fun
And one of them
design.
is shiny. Like
Yeah.
this is just the fan service card
Hmm.
as
Yeah.
like as much as you can get on a Pokemon card, really. And at a
Yeah.
modest 112 for
Hmm.
something so popular, I am not surprised that
That's
it's seeing growth like this.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't surprise me either that these cards are the ones that they highlight the price spikes on, and that the price spikes are happening on right now. Because with Mega Evolutions, with Phantasmal Flame, with Mega Evolutions coming soon, and with Phantasmal Flames, being announced and coming soon as well in the next few months. The Charizard's absolutely going to see a spike because people love Charizard.
And
Mega
people will play
Charizard.
Charizard too.
And people play Charizard, and it's the natural progression of, this card is popular, or this Pokemon is popular, so the collections are naturally going to follow, or the collectors are going to naturally follow. Same with
Certainly.
Gardevoir and Mega Gardevoir EX, and the Lugia. I think the Lugia and the Ethan's Hose are simple outliers for just being popular cards. The Lugia is a popular card. A lot of people love it. Ethan's Ho-Oh is a card that's finally getting, I think, kind of a price hike in the love that it's received, because let's see, I'm double checking. It's kind of like release
Yeah,
cycle. It
it's
was
actually
pretty
almost
big.
it's almost to where it was on release as far as
Yeah,
price goes, which is really
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. It had its released. It did what most cards do on release, where it starts out big, drops quite a bit, levels out, and stabilizes at a pretty average price range, somewhere between, in this case, 138 all the way to about 148, and then it starts seeing a price hike within the last month, basically, and
Yeah.
started leveling out again, I think. But it's a cool thing to see that happen with some cards. But I really do think it's just because, we're now a step away from Destined Rivals. People are going to go back to the older sets, or the sets that are, you know one set old, two sets old, and they're going to go and try to collect those cards again now, or they're going to go and try to see what they can get. It's
Yeah,
cool.
certainly. This is it's cool stuff. It's interesting
Hmm.
how seeing the new releases coming out affects the market for these cards, and it's interesting to see the graphs.
Hmm.
I'm a big nerd for like the graphs and stuff
Oh
of
yeah.
seeing what people. I don't care about like the price and like the economy of it particularly, but I think it's cool to look at all the graphs of it and
Yeah,
just see what's going on. It's really really cool. And it's
yeah,
exciting.
and
If you have any of these cards in your collection, this is a great time to have them. It's probably a good way to hold on. I mean, I imagine even the fact that right now, if you bought an Ethan's Ho-Oh EX on release, you are about to start making money off of it probably sometime soon.
hmm
That's interesting. I think
yeah,
that's, and if you even if you bought it like a little afterwards, like you are sitting comfortably right now. There's something interesting about Lugia V having almost never gone down, really taking no drastic dips, that's for sure. And
no,
then something like the Mega Gardevoir EX having come back down, but now it's starting to slowly climb towards that peak again. And then this Obsidian Flames Charizard just recently just skyrocketing in price, almost doubling in price. Actually, no, fully doubling in price just since July. So that's something to note. Same with the Paldean Fates Charizard. It has just about doubled in price. Really cool stuff. If you like these cards, the best time to get them was a while ago. The second best time is now. If you have them in your collection, if you're excited about them, let us know. Let us know if you're excited to have these cards doing well. If you have any of these in your collection, comment that below. I think it's cool to hear from collectors, people who we historically haven't really included much in the show, but we want to welcome you guys in because you're important to the franchise as well, and we value you.
Yeah, absolutely. Give it a half a year to a year, and the heat stuff that you've pulled recently will absolutely be up with these kinds of numbers, I bet.
True. I can't wait to see. I pulled the SIR Reshiram EX from from White. Shut up. From White Flare. I don't have the black and white rare. I'm not that lucky. But funny that the two of us co-hosts of this show both pulled the art rares for the Reshiram.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Two of the hottest cards in that set.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see how these cards will grow in price. It's fun to watch the financials of stuff. So that's really interesting. Next up, and we can kind of talk briefly about these next two topics.
Yeah.
Just some more TCG stuff for you. Tell me about this new Rotom card that got revealed.
Yeah, so there's a new Rotom card coming in Inferno X in Japan, and it'll be in our Phantasmal Flame set in November. It is a Rotom EX, 190 HP, Lightning type, with it's a basic, obviously, the ability Multi-Adapter. Your Pokemon with Rotom in their name may have up to two Pokemon tool cards attached to them. If this Pokemon loses this ability, discard Pokemon tool cards from your Pokemon until only one remains. And then for one Lightning and one Colorless, it has the Thunderbolt attack, which does 130 damage and discard all energy from this Pokemon.
Wow.
Yes. So this guy, just immediate thoughts is, this guy is not being played for his attack, right?
Certainly not.
He's got one retreat. He has fighting weakness. He has no resistance. He doesn't have much utility in terms of being a retreating option. It's purely there for this multi-adapter ability, and it's cool. I like it. I don't think this is actually going to be anything super outstanding, unfortunately, but I genuinely would be interesting to see someone decide to hit up a regional and make day 2 with a Rotom deck, because we have a series of Rotom that are in format right now, all of them with the I believe what was the
Gadget Show
the
is the name of the attack.
Gadget Show. Cool. Yeah, it's an attack that all of them have that's 2 colorless, and it'll do 30 damage times the number of tool cards attached to all of your Pokemon. So with this Rotom in play, you can get a bunch of other Rotom onto the bench and into the active, and you can have one of every colored type that's in the game in terms of like the Rotom typing. So you'll have one standard Rotom, one Mow for grass, one Heat for fire, one Wash for water. And Fan Rotom doesn't have a Gadget Show, but it's also colorless, and nothing is weak to colorless. So
right.
You get to kind of cover all of your weakness bases, and you can have 6 of these guys in play, each of them with 2 tool cards attached to them, swinging for a total of, what is that, 30 times 6? My math is terrible right now.
Well, 30 times, because you got to think it's for each tool in play. If you've got,
oh, you're right.
If you've got
12,
5 guys in, if you've got 5 Rotoms in play, each of them with tools, 2 tools, that's 300 damage right off the rip. That's before any damage mods from these tools.
Well, with the active too, so you get the active one.
Yeah, that's 360. So 6, so 360.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
God forbid you have like Area 0 under depths in play. You can do even more guys.
God. Yeah.
Get a bunch of tools in play.
More guys with.
Here's something interesting that I'm looking at right now. is also the Surging Sparks control Rotom, where your opponent reveals their hand and you discard all items and tools that you find there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that
could be.
You could put 2 luxurious capes on that guy, make him 260, a 3-prizer.
Yeah. Oh, I mean that's a lot to give up.
A luxurious cape and a hero's cape.
Ooh, okay.
2-prizer for 260 HP. It's something to think about. There's a lot of room for, I can play with this Rotom deck and see what's good and just mess around with it. Who knows if it'll be any good, but it is cute to think about. I like Rotom. He's a cool guy.
Yeah. We have some cool tool support outside of, outside of just getting a couple of tools onto this guy. We do have what is it? Technical machine.
It's TM machine, yeah.
It's TM machine. That's what it is. Yeah, TM machine. Silly name, but it's a card that lets you search your deck for 3 technical machine cards, tool cards, and add them to your hand. And it's an item card, so you can load your deck with 4 of those. And if you drop them all in the same turn, that's 12 TMs right there to hand.
Yeah.
You get what is it? The oh my god, gadget? No, not gadget. It's an ace spec. I'm like thoroughly blanking on
there
this
is
one.
the tool that it's an item ace spec that lets you go get, I think it's 3 any 5 tool cards out of your deck.
Yeah, it's something like that.
I believe I'm looking at it right now. It's Treasure Tracker. This card says search your deck for up to 5 Pokemon tool cards, reveal them and put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Yeah, so you got some more support there. It's not a good ace spec, but it's got a niche use, a very niche use in this very niche deck. It's a shame, unfortunately, that this Rotom exists in a time where Rotom V and Rotom V Star have rotated. Truly the option, I think, that the Rotom V Star deck just kind of needed to help it out a little bit more. We lost those before TM Machine came out. We lost those before this guy comes out. We
didn't have Toolbox, though.
Yes, we did. We did have Toolbox. That's true. For what it's worth, if you play Expanded, I guess, and you're not looking to play Broken Lugia or Broken Charizard or Broken Palkia or any other broken any type of whatever it is.
If you're looking to not play a good deck.
If you want to play an okay deck, you could play a Rotom V-Star, Rotom EX deck when this guy comes out for Expanded. And it'll probably be a little bit of fun, even if it's not a serious deck,
Certainly.
So have at it.
Yeah, by all means, I think this will be a lot of fun. I love Rotom. Yeah. I love Rotom decks. It's going to be really cool. Not like the Rotom decks, as in decks that utilize Rotom. Rotom decks is fine too, I guess. Yeah. Shout out Alola. But that's kind of it's exciting. It's an exciting card. I hope the decks are fun to play. I'd love to see one win a Japan tournament, like when Rotom V-Star first came out during their V-Star Universe set. I think that would just be neat.
The last thing I will add with this is it may not be, but it also could be an indication that maybe we will get some other Rotom cards coming soon that use tools in an interesting way.
True.
Possibly even a series of Rotom.
Imagine Garbotoxin Rotom, brother.
Ooh. Oh. that would be pretty interesting.
Surely they don't print that, but still, imagine.
I would genuinely love to see like a series of Rotom EXs with all of the Rotoms featured. I think that would maybe be the coolest thing they could do.
Watch Rotom EX, bro.
Mm-hmm. I will double check it real quick, but I don't think there have ever been any other.
I'm looking at it right now. There's only ever been one Rulebox Rotom card, and it was Rotom V and V-Star.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the only thing we've ever gotten with that, which means that we could get the TPCI could be nice and maybe
pretty cool.
Drop the other dudes some support. We could also potentially get a Psychic Rotom back at some point. Haven't seen that in a hot minute. Rotom has actually, it's only ever had 2 Psychic copies of it released, printed. Back with what was that?
Forbidden Light and Cosmic Eclipse.
Yes, so some older sets for sure with that. Um, but I think that would be cool to see. Like bring back a psychic type Rotom in the TCG to represent its ghost typing a little bit, even though
Yeah,
you know
just for fun.
it's yeah
Put Frost
yeah.
Rotom in as well.
Ooh, Frost Rotom hasn't had a print
It
in a
has.
hot minute
It's
either
been a while.
since
Their
Ultra Prism.
last was it really Ultra Prism?
It's the last Frost Rotom that I'm seeing is Ultra Prism. Actually,
Wow, yeah.
is that the only Frost Rotom?
There's a second one. It is from Rising Rivals.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is that's
Holy
and
smokes.
that one was an electric type as well.
Yeah,
Or a lightning type.
yeah.
Jeez.
Absolutely
Yeah,
wild. No love
they
for Frost Rotom.
they
What's the
don't love that
problem?
guy. It's so unfortunate. They don't love him at all. They've
Disrespect.
given
Put some respect
they,
on Frost Rotom's name. How
meanwhile,
dare you, creatures?
yeah, I mean the only other is like the we could make a whole video on like ranking Rotoms based on how TPCI likes them in terms of printing cards for them. But it's like
Yeah.
it's clear that like Wash Rotom is the favorite version and Frost Rotom
With
is the
good reason.
least
He's
favorite
friend
version.
shaped.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
He helps me do my
But
least favorite chore.
very true, very true. Oh man, Frost Rotom just kind of exists and keeps your food cold. That's it.
Yeah, true. Cool.
Moving
Love Rotom.
swiftly
I'm
along,
excited.
though.
I really am interested to see this
Yeah.
control Rotom build. I think that would be cute. I think we
That
should
would be
get
super
Zach on
fun.
that immediately.
Yes.
Because I think they'll do a great job with that. I think they'll have a fun time with it. But I want to kind of move on to some other cool new cards that got revealed. It says here via Pokebeach again, which the last article about the Rotom EX was also from Pokebeach. But Pokebeach is recording here. The rarest ever Budew and Mewtwo promos are awarded at Southeast Asia tournaments worth thousands of dollars. There is the top 4 players of each age division. Or I guess let's start with this. Players in the Philippines, Malaysia, and Singapore. So including our good friend Juancho Saldana will receive exclusive English promos at their tournaments. Each country will host one Premier Ball League tournament by the end of the year. And the top 4 players of each division will receive a Team Rockets Mewtwo EX with an exclusive Premier Ball League stamp. So there will only be 12 of these in existence, or in each event, and 36 of them in existence, which is a crazy, crazy rare card.
Yes.
I wonder, you think these are tournament legal? I think they are,
no,
right?
They're 100. They are 100% tournament legal. Wancho, I remember Wancho mentioning too. He gets offers quite frequently. For his for his promo cards that he's won through the various leagues, whether they're the Champions League, the Premier Ball League,
or
all
the
of those.
Master Ball League, I think.
The Master Ball League, yes, yeah. He has gotten offers multiple times for those, and gets them quite frequently. And I know that for him and for many other winners, it's not about the money for them. It's simply about
having the card,
having this cool card. Having this special card that you have and that no one else will ever have, and that no one had to buy out with for your sake. You got to win this. You didn't have to spend.
You didn't get lucky.
You
spend a bunch of money
to go to the tournament, but you did not have to spend money beyond that.
Right. I mean, I guess on your deck, but still.
Sure, but all of us have spent money on the deck at that point,
right?
Too.
Yeah,
yeah.
If you're curious, that is, by the way, the Rockets Mewtwo EX with that Erasure Ball attack. It's not a playable card, but it is cool.
Yeah. Some of the other cool bits with this too. Winners are getting exclusive playmats, trophies, and sleeves.
That playmat looks bananas, by the way.
Yeah, the playmat and the sleeves, I think, are so
sick. Yeah.
For the folks at home and anyone who wants to go looking for this Pokebeach article, the playmat and the sleeves both feature.
Can you screen share for video?
Yeah, I can actually. Here, let's go take a look at this.
Dude, we gotta start using that more often.
Oh my god, yeah, this one right here. All right, Yeah, so this is what the playmat looks like. The
So
home
nice
channel.
looking. I love it.
This is such a fun design. I love this. I love the fact that they're just like showing off, the base Pokemon and their Mega Evolutions. It's clear that they're going all in on the Mega Evolutions, obviously, with the upcoming game and with the TCG. So why not highlight it?
Yeah,
Especially for winners of this Premier Ball League, who now will have the opportunity to play this for the rest of the season while Mega Evolutions are coming out and in their prime.
that's right.
Um, you'll be able to show that off. You'll be able to show that off with the sleeves, and you get a really, really cool trophy if you made it into top four at minimum. So
Yeah,
super, super sick.
that'll be really exciting.
Uh,
I can't wait to see what
gonna
those look
go
like in person.
back a
Yeah,
little
there's
bit
that
just to
Rockets
show off
Mewtwo.
this Rockets. Yep, Team
It's
Rockets
interesting
Mewtwo.
that these are in English, so that we like if we had them technically, we could use them in our decks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. I think the
That's
reasoning
the
behind that
Philippines
might.
cards in general are
Yeah,
all in
I think
English.
it might be because they. I actually don't know. I would think maybe it's because they have English players there as well, like English speaking players there as well. But I genuinely don't know if it's in terms of like English speaking players there, or if it's just simply their choice to have this card show off in I guess like a primary world language.
Yeah. Well, all of like those Eastern events, I know at least for the Philippines, Wanto said that those are all of their cards are in English.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah.
it probably is. We'll have to talk to him more about it when we get him on next, or have a conversation
Yeah.
with him. Talk more about that whole side of things. That could be cool.
Yeah.
It'd
For
be
sure.
another great excuse to have him on the show. I love having him around.
Yeah, it might also just have to do with languages spoken in the Philippines. I know that
True.
there's a Tagalog, and then on top of that, Spanish and English are all the common languages there. So I think that it would be maybe just because English might just be simply a common language. I don't know. It would really be cool to like talk more about that and about like maybe the language barriers in Pokemon at some point with Wancho or some other guests. Who knows?
True.
Yeah.
Furthermore, on this article, we've also got all tournament participants are receiving a Cosmo Foil Budu with the Premier Ball League stamp. There will be 3484 of these Budus given out to participants across the 3 countries. And then
Mm-hmm.
tournament judges will receive this card with the judge stamp. And
Yeah.
this will be less than 150 copies of that card across
Yeah.
all 3 of those countries. That is going to be a crazy valuable card.
Yes.
It'll be cool for judges as well. I think it's always nice when judges get a bone thrown to them.
Mm-hmm.
We like having that. Like some of my pre-release season always gets me excited because I'm like, ooh, I get staff promos. I get really cool staff promos, and maybe they'll be playable. Maybe they won't, but maybe they will, and it could be cool. So that's
Yeah.
always an exciting time for me and other judges, and it's nice that we get something. It's a good way for us to also like keep up revenue as well, make the hobby more sustainable for ourselves. We can make some money off of our promo cards and just have a good time with it as well. So that's really exciting. Not really anything else to talk. Do you have anything else to say about this article before we move on?
No, not too much else. It's just really cool. They highlight, I think, in the article briefly that last year's promos were a fan rotom, and then a with one with the judge stamp, and then a Terrapagos, and that the fan rotom was the equivalent of the Badoo, and the Terrapagos was the equivalent of like the Mewtwo, and the fan rotoms right now are like priced somewhere around $100 each, and the Terrapagos at like 3,500. So that just kind of speaks, yeah, that speaks to the rarity, I think, of these cards.
Put one
like
of those in
having,
your Terra box.
right? Having like this version exclusive. Hey, I mean, you know what? If Wancho wins a couple of these Premier Ball, well, a couple of championships this season with between Premier Ball League and some of the other events, Wancho could end up being able to run a Rocket deck at
True.
the technically the max rarity, I suppose.
That's the guaranteed max rarity right there, man. That's
absolutely awesome. Guaranteed max rarity. Yeah, it's fun to see printings like these just
Certainly.
kind of happen. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I would agree with all that. Up next is another really important piece of news. This is actually for everybody who's competing. LAIC signups go live on September 23rd. I don't have a time at the moment, so Do you know what
Uh,
time that will be exactly?
so
If
the
not,
Poker
that's
Beach
okay.
article that references the merch and swag revealed is also stating that it'll be
It says
1900
BRT.
Brazilian, yes,
Yeah.
time for spectators and competitors. Um,
There'll also be a second
and
registration
then,
at 24th at 9 BRT.
yeah, yeah. Uh, I'm gonna I'm gonna do a quick conversion of BRT to standard Eastern time for our sake. Brazilian time looks like it's just an hour ahead, so
Ahead of
uh,
Eastern.
yeah, just an hour ahead of Eastern. So I guess if you're in this area and you're looking to go compete in Brazil, the time for
It'll
you
be
to start jumping on the 23rd is going to be what, 6 o'clock, and
6
then
p.m. And
yep,
then on the 24th, it'll be 8 a.m.
yep, yep. So you've got a couple of slots. This is guaranteed to be a very big event because it is LAIC. We've seen consistent numbers growing and growing over the last couple of years for
Mm-hmm.
the internationals. So no doubt there's going to be even more slots this year, and it's going to be um, just an even bigger tournament.
Yeah, truly. I'm excited to see what this tournament will be like. I'm excited for the first of 3 ICs this year. No OCIC again, which is sad, but it'll
No.
be cool that we're to start off the season really strong with a good IC on from November 21st to 23rd
Hmm.
in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Yes.
Now, there's also some really interesting swag being brought up from Sao Paulo for LAIC. Do you mind pulling up those photos for me, Johnny?
Absolutely. Here we
We've got
go.
the competitor kit for each participant. Right here, there's a really cool Mega Venusaur 2026 Latin America competitor mat. Some interesting sleeves. The promo card is an Ultra Ball, which is like fine, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's a cool. That's an evergreen kind of card, so I
Hmm.
can imagine that'll be a high rarity card. You've got this cool Mega pin. Is that a pin in the middle? Is that a sticker?
I believe that's a pin.
That's kind of heat.
Big
That's kind of
fan.
heat, actually. I like pins.
Big fan of the pin. Yeah, absolutely. You get a cool pin. You get the lanyard.
Hat is
Um,
really cool too. I like that color.
Hat's always cool. The deck box and sleeves and mat look really good. And then on top of that, they've actually adjusted the design ever so slightly between the mats. But if you get the top eight spot, if you make it into top eight, or if you're the champion, obviously you get this really sick one here. But I like that they're differentiating those a little bit too. You know.
Yeah. I also like that the art's really leading into that pop art comic book kind of style
Hmm.
that they displayed in the illustrations, or I guess secret rares for what's the Phantasmal Flames. Those
Hmm.
kind of really
Yeah.
interesting comic booky art rares. I'm interested
Yeah.
to see them like leaning into that for the design choices of the playmats too. I've just always really liked that style, so it's cool to see that coming to the merchandise that you get just for participating in the tournament. So eager
Yeah.
to see that
Super.
happening.
Super cool. Big, like, definitely agree with that. With like, I mean, like, you get like this pointillism shading here. You can see it on this image too, and then like this kind of like glass breaking, imagery just to really highlight that like comic bookiness. You
Yeah.
know.
There's also some speculation that EUIC later in February will feature Blastoise, and NAIC in July will feature Charizard. And that could be pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
actually really exciting because we might be able to go to NAIC this year and being able to get the
Hmm.
Mega Charizard mat and then flip that sucker for $1 bajillion. Uh,
No, I'm coming back and playing with that thing. If I do get to go, I'm absolutely coming
I'm
back and
holding
playing
on
with
to
that
that thing
thing.
till 2030 and then selling it and putting
Yeah.
a down payment on a house.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, it's it's
I do
it's cool
not
to see
care very
these.
much for Charizard, as I have made very clear before.
Oh man, yeah. I'm just enjoying the fact that like they really want to lean in on the internationals on these this year especially. I
Oh,
don't
sure.
remember exactly what the what the icy mats. Oh, that's right. The icy mats leaned in on the ogre ponds this past
That's
year or
right.
this past season, and it
Those
was
were
pretty
nice
cool.
too. I really liked
They
those.
were very interesting. Yeah, I liked them a lot. But I gotta say, I really like these a lot more than just the ones that we got last year with the ogre ponds.
It's
I'll
just
be
because you're a
honest.
Gen 1er.
I am. It's okay.
Nothing to be ashamed
Absolutely am.
of.
It happens. I mean, it was literally my first generation,
I
so
respect it. I respect it.
I grew up watching the stuff on TV when I was real little. But I love that. I love that. Yeah, I honestly, if I was going, I wouldn't even want to make top eight I mean, I would want to make top eight or champion, but I would want like this competitor match just because I liked actually
I
like
wonder
the
if you get
showing.
both. I think you get both.
You probably do, actually. You're probably right because it's like it's the welcome package versus like winning this as
Yeah,
a
they don't know you're
prize.
going to get
So
top
yeah,
8 until you make it, and they're not just going to take away your
true,
competitor, Matt.
true.
Like,
You're
congratulations.
so right.
Give me that.
Yep, you're actually a champion, so you got to make it there now. Otherwise, we're taking that away from you.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, no,
That'd be really funny.
I really dig this lineup though. I think that's like probably one of
Yeah,
my favorite bits about this more than anything else. There is just showing the Evo line a little bit.
certainly.
Um,
Certainly.
yeah, so cool stuff there with that.
Awesome. Awesome. I want to pivot a little bit towards VGC now. We're doing a lot of new stuff this week, trying out some more
Mm-hmm.
news articles, trying out some other games and other facets of the Pokemon franchise, including some VGC news. So this is less of VGC like competitive, but it is important for anybody playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The Ting Lu raid has been beaten with, I want to say it was like 5 million, maybe 3 million, only 3 million defeats of the raid encounter. I couldn't tell you. We only needed 1 million though, so we have certainly exceeded the necessary threshold. So that means that we are now 3 out of 4 shiny treasures of ruin are available. The only one left is the Chi-Yu raid, which is currently active and will be active until the 14th of September. So if you want your shiny Chi-Yu, by all means, go check that out now. You can also still collect some Terra Shards and all the other shiny treasures of ruin. I'm pretty stoked about this. I love Qian Pu, as the community has lovingly named him. I think he's great. So that's really noteworthy for VGC. Go get your shiny treasures of ruin. Go get that shiny Chi-Yu. He's nice and blue. I love him. And then I want to skip what we have on the dock. These are kind of going out of order. I want to go into another interesting. This is way more competitive for VGC players. If you're unfamiliar, there is I think annual or multi-annual tournament called Grand Challenges for VGC players that are actually official online tournaments sanctioned by Pokemon. And Grand Challenge I has just concluded. This is an online tournament that actually does award CP championship points. That's important to spell that out and not just leave it as the abbreviation for reasons. But yeah, that is championship points being awarded 75 to first place, which was won by, let's see here. Yes, David Fazio with their team of Blood Moon Ursaluna, Rillaboom, Golden Go, Alolan Ninetales, Incineroar, and Hisuian Sneasler. This is a Regulation H tournament, which means no Mythicals, no Legendaries, and no Paradox Pokemon. Pretty interesting that that has already concluded. I'm not sure much of the meta in VGC, so I couldn't tell you exactly what all of this means. I know Hisuian Sneasler is really, really potent right now. Rillaboom and Blood Moon are also, of course, very potent. What surprises me most is actually the Alolan Ninetales. I'm not exactly certain why that inclusion is there. But again, I'm not very well versed. I'm sure a VGC expert could break it down for me. But I love Alolan Ninetales. I'm always excited to see her in a team. So congrats to David Fazio with their winning team, and congratulations on the championship points. Johnny, do you have any thoughts about Grand Challenge I or the Shiny Treasures of Ruin raids?
Not much on the raids, unfortunately. Have spent very little time with like VGC stuff in general, and with the games, especially with the current games. Um, but I will say, with as far as the Grand Challenge goes, I think uh, it's always cool to see like the online tournaments, become these huge spectacles. I think they do one a month. It looks like, based on last season's kind
Mm,
of scheduling, they scheduled one out for once a month every single month during the main season, main competitive season for VGC. I remember was it hearing about, I think last year during for one of the grand challenges, Wolfie actually uh, won a grand challenge under a pseudonym, knowing that he wouldn't get the points for it.
yeah, I remember hearing about that.
And it was a huge thing because he won it as like a no name, basically. Like, this account that like nobody had seen before comes out, wins like the grand challenge, and he just did it because he said he just wanted to see if it could be done, if he could do it.
Yeah.
um, and I think he tried out like an innovative team. Like I said, I don't know anything about VGC. I didn't keep up with that at all
Was
either.
that
But it was a
the
cool.
Parish Trap run?
I believe it might have been the Paris Trap run. That's what I heard was discussed with it. So it might have been that, which was a kind of a unique build from my understanding, using I believe Parish Song along with trapping
Arena Trap.
mechanics, arena trap, yeah, to basically lock an opponent and then just stall out with Parish Song and then swapping the Pokemon, I believe, so you could repeat the play uh, every couple of turns, or it was a team built around arena trap, using it multiple
Certainly.
times with multiple Parish Song users. Either way, really, really fun idea. Looking for the alternate win condition, I suppose, in Pokemon VGC, as it were. Not
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's taking knockouts, but it's not using battle moves necessarily to reduce HP to zero. It's taking knockouts with effects of moves instead.
yeah, pretty
So fun
cool.
concept. Yeah, absolutely.
I dig it a lot. I dig it a lot. Up next, we kind of touched on this earlier, so we don't really have to say anything about it. I actually would like to reserve some of the conversation for when we do our spoiler cast. But Pokemon Concierge Season 2 is now live on Netflix. If you want to go check that out, if you're a fan of Pokemon Concierge, check that out.
Yeah.
I'm excited to check this out for myriad reasons. It looks like it's a fun show that I could watch with my wife,
Mhm.
and it looks like something cool that we could talk about on the show as well.
Yeah, I won't go too much into it either. But I'm absolutely a big fan of the show from just a couple of episodes of season one I watched so far. My wife is not a huge Pokemon person the way that I am. She enjoys some of the designs, but and she likes some of the Pokemon. But that's pretty much just about as far as it goes. She's not engaging with it on nearly on
Right.
the level that I am. So Pokemon Concierge is kind of like one of those things that I found that lets us both enjoy it on that same level. And she has explicitly forced me. No, I shouldn't say forced me. She's explicitly asked me not to watch any more of it beyond the 2 episodes of season one that we watched, because for her, she wants to really save it for like a rainy day.
Ooh, nice.
This is a healing type of show, and so if you have a bad day, I guarantee you, coming and watching an episode of this show will lift you up. It's a great show just for enjoying some kind of wholesome Pokemon content. You're
Love it.
not focusing on the battles, you're just focusing on Pokemon being Pokemon and people being people around the Pokemon.
True.
It's a lot more relatable. The main character is super relatable, I think, for a lot of people too. And so I'm really excited to finish up the first season and watch the next season with her.
Yeah.
Come back here and kind of discuss thoughts with it. So
Something I've always said about Pokemon is like the thing that makes this franchise so interesting is the people. So
yeah,
that'll be really exciting. I'm excited to jump into this series and really dive deep into it, get through all the episodes, and talk with you about it a little bit if you're able
yeah,
to finish the
absolutely.
series by then. But
Yeah, absolutely.
with that said, let's kind of move on to our section of what we've been playing. and then we'll close out with Frankfurt regional predictions and our usual send off. So, Johnny, tell me about what you've been playing as far as Pokemon goes, whether that's video games, decks you've been playing on live or in person. I know we had a testing session with Zach and James here recently. It was pretty fun. I know that there's some cool video game stuff going on right now, and a lot of anticipation building for Legend ZA. Some folks are going back and playing Gen 6. I'll talk about that in a second. But what have you been playing with this week? Or just since we really last did a news episode?
Yeah. Basically, since then, I have been... So I jumped onto... I don't know if I mentioned it in our last one or not, but I jumped onto playing Flareon Box or Eevee Box or however people want to refer to it as.
Sure.
It's I at the kind of at the spurring a little bit of friend of the show, Zach. We just, I don't know, they recommended it recently, and I was just like, you know what, let me give this a try. I want to see what this is like. I'd been digging Terrabox obviously a lot recently, and I wanted to like give something else a try that was kind of similar to Terrabox, because Noctowl is such a disgustingly good engine.
So good.
As long as any of the Terra Pokemon are relevant in any decent capacity, Noctowl and Fanrotom will be absolutely insanely good for as long as they're around in format. So yeah, I gave Flareon Box a try, and I was really enjoying it. I'm definitely on a different build than Zach, but I've been enjoying the build that I've been playing quite a bit.
Do you use any unusual evolutions in there?
No unusual evolutions. I've seen people's discussions of what evolutions to use. I know that what was it? Azul did a video recently with Espeon in the list. It's terrible inclusion. Don't do it. I understand the sentiment because it's meant to target down Dragapult specifically, and Dragapult is still not running rare candy for the most part. But the problem with the Espeon attack is that it only shuffles back the current stage. Espeon has an attack, I believe it's called Amazes, that hits for it's requirement, or I can't remember the energy requirement, but it forces
Grass
the
Psychic
opponent.
Darkness.
There you go. So it forces the opponent to shuffle back the current evolution stage of any of their evolved Pokemon into their deck. Yeah, and then it's all of them that are on the bench, I believe, or is it all in play?
It is Amazes for Grass Psychic Darkness says devolve each of your opponent's evolved Pokemon by shuffling the highest stage evolution card on it into your opponent's deck.
Gotcha. So it hits the active as well. It's a very fun concept. It definitely is a setback in Dragapult decks, but that's really all you're actually using it for. You're not aiming it at any other decks, where Angelite on Sylveon still has some good applications into other decks. The other issue with the Espeon is that it requires a Dark Energy, which means that you have to make space for that in the list. And you're already running, if you're running Eevee Box without if you're not running Sylveon or Espeon in Eevee Box, then you're already going to be running Fire Energy, Water Energy, Lightning Energy, and probably a single Grass for your Leafeon. If you put Espeon in, you have to run a second Grass, and then you have to include another Psychic as well, because you should be running a minimum one Psychic in no Sylveon builds for a Clefairy, so that you have an out to Dragapult in your no Sylveon builds.
Yeah.
In your Sylveon builds, you should be running two Psychics so that you can have Sylveon in play and have Clefairy as backup whenever the time comes. That way, Sylveon, if you're not going to use Angelite, you can still punch for 320 and KO a Dragapult.
That's right.
So I didn't like the Espeon idea. I just think that like it requires the inclusion of a Dark Energy, and that's going to clog your deck up further. What I did though was I cut. I said I really liked the Noctowl line, but I cut it down to 3-3, and I cut some other stuff out, and I made space for a 1-1-1 line of Pidgeot EX, along with a rare candy. The rare candy and the Pidgeotto in there, because if you prized rare candy, you still have Pidgeotto. If you priced Pidgeotto, you still have rare candy. If you priced Pidgey, you're not going to worry about the line, and you're just going to lean into your owls a little bit more. If you priced Pidgeot, you can build Pidgey into Pidgeotto until you pick up Pidgeot from prizes.
Yeah.
So you have two easy ways to get Pidgeot out, or you have one really easy way to get Pidgeot out, one slightly harder way to get Pidgeot out, one harder way to get it, and then one like impossible to get it out until you get the prizing for the Pidgey. But, you know, that's kind of the way the deck is going to run. In those matchups, that means other stuff that you might want more isn't prized, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's a good inclusion in it. It's felt really good. It makes you Iono proof. And that's probably, I think, the biggest factor is that a lot of Terra Box lists, a lot of EV Box lists, a lot of Noctowl engine lists in general are very susceptible to Iono in the late game, right? You have your one Hoot on the bench for your late game. You have your Noctowl in hand, and your opponent Ionos you. And it's your last Noctowl, and they know it's your last Noctowl. So that's gone. So now you have to find an Ultra Ball to get it. Pidgeot at least means that you can find one card that you want, or Pidgeot turns, that one card you want into two trainer cards if you just grab a Noctowl out of the deck to play onto a Hoot. Either way, you kind of get everything that you need. So I really like having that inclusion. It's another free retreater as well. I have had to cut like some other staples. Mew EX is not in my list, and yeah, that's one that I maybe would want, but I have the Pidgeot instead. Both are free retreating, and it's basically just saying, okay, I'm never going to use Restart. But yeah, I think that for the most part, you don't use Restart a ton when you're playing Terra Box or when you're playing EV Box. You usually have a lot of stuff in hand. So Restart isn't as necessary. If you're using Restart more in those lists, you're either in a tighter spot, or it's a very late game, or you've been Iono'd. And like I said before, Pidgeot already solves the Iono problem. So Restart is less necessary in that instance. Makes Pidgeot feel a little better to be in there instead of the Mew. So yeah, just having that inclusion, it's been a lot of fun. I also put Iron Bundle in the list. It's not standard in EV Box. It's very standard in Terra Box, and Iron Bundle is such a good
Iron
card.
Bundle rocks, especially if you're using Sylveon, because then you can just push them back and then put something else in the active and use that Angelite attack to get rid of the guy they had in the active.
Yep. We were at a cup recently, and I had 2 games where I lamented not having an Iron Bundle, because an Iron Bundle would have absolutely saved my my game in both of those. I had one into a Gardevoir player who had 3 energy on their Gardevoir. They had 2 cards in hand, and all they had was a Fez and a Ralts on the bench. So their setup was not very good. They just had to discard a lot with Ultra Balls and things like that to keep themselves kind of running. I guess the reason why the Iron Bundle would have been sick there is because I would have just, the game winning, and I talked with the player afterwards. They beat me, unfortunately, but I talked with him afterwards, and he said that at that point, if I had Angelite, like if I had an Iron Bundle and I'd use that to force the Gardevoir back to the bench, and he probably would have put up the Ralts. He had a dead hand, and Angelite would have sent Pheasantipity and Gardevoir back into his deck with no recourse to keep playing the game. He said that would have probably been the game right then and there. And knowing that kind of made me feel like, wow, this should be an inclusion. So I cut a counter catcher for the Iron Bundle. So the list was originally 1 boss, 2 counter catcher. Now it's 1 boss, 1 counter catcher, 1 Iron Bundle. I think that's fine.
Yeah, seems good.
I haven't felt like I need a second counter catcher too many times. And most of the time, Iron Bundle is just fine enough that you don't need the second counter catcher. And because you're running you know, burning charge with Flareon so frequently to kind of power your guys up. Uh, the Crispin isn't necessary on turn 3, so boss is a little bit better. You know,
Yeah, seems really good.
you get avenues like that.
It's good to
It's
have
really cool.
Iron Bundle as an alternate gust option. It's going to be really
Yeah.
it's really potent as a card, and I think especially
Mhm.
right now in an era there where item lock is popular, and there's just and like even like tool lock is popular.
Yeah.
It's very valuable to be able to gust your opponent's Pokemon and move your opponent's Pokemon around without having to necessarily use items. So
Yeah.
I love the value of Iron Bundle. I love it in Terra Box. I've been loving it there. So
Hmm.
it's cool to see you using that. I wish for Eevee Box that Glaceon was any good. I'd love to see a Glaceon deck. I love Glaceon so much, and nobody understands. And Creatures hates
Glaceon,
her.
they
Creatures
do.
hates Glaceon, and it makes me so sad.
What does the Glaceon do again?
Glaceon does for water, one colorless. It does 110 and 30 to the bench, and
Gotcha.
then
So worse
uh,
Grimmsnarl attack, unfortunately.
it's for 2 energy, and one of them is
It is
generic,
2 energy.
and it can be
Yeah.
crystalled.
Yes.
It's also a Terra type, but and
Hmm.
then for grass, water, dark, you knock out one of your opponent's Pokemon that has exactly 6 damage counters on it. The fact that
Yeah.
this can be used dark energy, you can use Monkey Dories to move stuff around. I just think it's neat.
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
I think, and this is speculation, but I think that decks that have just straight up knockout mechanics, decks like
Hmm.
this, decks like Roaring Moon EX, are going to become more popular in the era of Mega Evolution Pokemon, and
Yeah.
when there are fewer Pokemon who have bench barrier baked into them. So maybe I'm tinfoil hat theorying,
No,
but
I think you're correct.
I think I'm excited
I
about this.
I think you're correct. I unfortunately think that even when that happens, Glaceon is still not going to be the popular choice, and it's
Yeah,
simply
you're probably
because
right.
we have that Mega the Mega Absol coming that has the exact same attack, but for 1 dark and 1 colorless.
Yeah, this is true.
It's yes, it's a Mega Evolution, but it takes less energy and it's more consistent in terms of you can just crisp into it, you know, or
True.
you can Jasmine plus attach, you know, like that guy's gonna
Yeah.
have easier time than attach what is it, a water, a dark, and a grass, like you said.
Yeah. Well, again, my
Yeah.
thoughts are you get baked in Noctowl
Yeah.
engine like consistency. You get baked in Darks with Monkey Dories.
Hmm.
If you wanted to, you could even throw in a Frostlass. Probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
I do
spitballing
think it would be
here. I
sick
just think
like that,
it's
but
cute. I
yeah.
love Glaceon. I yearn to see her be competitive.
Yes.
Uh,
I totally get that.
and you says
I
on here
totally get it.
you're also going a little bit more with Charizard and Raging Bolt. Tell me about that a little bit.
So through our testing sessions, I found myself kind of leaning back into those a little bit, enjoying them a little bit more. The current Charizard build is
Is that the one with
kind
Dusks?
of what it's been. It's the one with Dusks. It's Charizard, Pidgeot, and Dusks. It's pretty similar to what it has been for a long while, really and truly, or at least what it was, you know, a year ago when Dusks kind of came out.
Yeah.
This version now is like really leaning heavily into the max belt, and I totally get it. You know, Charizard has a little bit of a slow start, so max belt gives you that ability to start taking KOs without having to pop a Dusk right away.
True. Even with the Ethan's Pichu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a fun tech that again Zach put me onto that was super sick, and that is the inclusion of an Ethan's Pichu in the deck, and the
Which
reason
for
being
one free it's 30 HP free retreat, and for no energy it can attack for 30 damage and you draw a card. He's a pretty cool guy.
I love this dude. It's cute. It's fun. The 30 damage for free and drawing a card helps you out immensely in the pulp matchups, since you can just smack a Badoo with it and you take a prize. It's
And
very
you draw a card.
low, and you draw a card. It's very low investment in those in that term or in that situation. It gives you a free retreat, so that's really cool. The other thing that's really cool about the Pichu, though, is when you start getting into like the nitty gritty of what you can do with this guy in terms of some of the weaknesses, right? So it's lightning type, which means it's hitting for weakness into a lot of standard format colorless Pokemon right now. The Noctowls, the Hoot Hoots, the Phanrotoms. Now, a lot of those dodge it by 10 HP if you swing with just that attack. But you can use stuff like a um, a Dusknoir or a Dusclops to kind of build damage onto something, and then swing with a Dusknoir going for 130 plus the 60. You're doing 190 into anything that's weak to colorless, so you can Dusknoir plus doing the zapping draw, hit a Squawkabilly, KO
True.
it.
That's pretty
You can
good.
also just attach Max Belt to Pichu, hit a Squawkabilly and KO it. You can do it gets even better. You can do Max Belt plus a Dusclops into a Wellspring Maskoker Pond and KO it. You can also do
all right.
a
I see the vision.
Max Belt and a Dusknoir into a Pidgeot and KO it.
Wow.
There's a lot that you get out of this. It's for a very low investment option.
Yeah, certainly.
Because you just have to make some room for one extra dude, you know?
It's so funny because there's been no use of the Elekid that does 30 damage anywhere on the board.
Yeah. And Zach was talking about that, and the reason being is just you're not really going to use this Pichu unless you have either a very opportunistic attack that you can pull off in the same turn with it into kind of one of those guys that I mentioned, one of the bigger EXs, or even smaller EXs like I mentioned. You're not going to do that unless it's an opportunity, or you're going to preemptively bench the Pichu in something like the Pult matchup because you know that they're going to put in Badoo, right? Yeah. So you're going to have the Pichu in play. You're aiming to go second anyway, and if they have Badoo early in an attempt to, okay, I'm going to push Badoo and Itchy Pollen on my next turn and put the Badoo here because if it gets KO'd, I have a second one, or I can get it back. And it's like Pichu, very low investment. Pichu is a low investment response that hurts the Badoo setup significantly. So I really like that opportunity. And your opponent is almost never leaving Badoo on the bench until later in the game when it doesn't matter. And you as a player probably just want to leave it there later in the game because it's taking up a bench space that your opponent may want for some other support Pokemon.
Cool. Anything on Raging Bolt before we...
Not much. Raging Bolt is just Raging Bolt. It's been doing what it's always been doing. The Terra engine is, again, a really sick inclusion into the deck. And it makes Raging Bolt that much more consistent, which in a slower format for everything, Raging Bolt benefits immensely from. So,
dude, James pointed out when we were testing, he said that he brought it to our attention that he had been on Noctowl package Raging Bolt as soon as it came out, and we thought he was crazy for it. And now it's the optimal way to play Raging Bolt. So we all have some egg on our face when it comes to that. It is so funny. James tends to be right about these things. He's a very good player. So
absolutely
cool to see Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt has evolved into a much more interesting deck. I used to be a big hater of it, but like I've said recently, I've kind of changed my tune on it since it's got this more inventive and innovative and exciting build. So exciting to see Raging Bolt doing well, being cool. It makes me miss the SIR I pulled from that set, but I had to sell it so that I could get into a pre-release. So, who's the real winner here?
Understandable. You know what? That's so fair.
It was not worth it. If I could go back, I would have just skipped that pre-release and kept the Raging Bolt. All right. For me, this week I've been since we last spoke, I have finished Pokemon Black for book club. For the Calyrex Game Corner book club, I'm excited to do some post game of that more casually. I have a big project in the works. A preview, I guess, for if you're watching now, if you're a fan of the show and have maybe watched any of that series, I plan on doing a video for the 15th anniversary of Pokemon Black in March. And I'm excited to kind of work on that project throughout the winter and hopefully see some cool growth when that does come to fruition. And then
What was that? Oh, I was going to ask, what was that final team?
The final team. Oh my goodness, that's such a good question. Actually, I will have to find it. I believe it was Huey the Samurott, and then Meatball the Darmanitan.
Mm-hmm.
I had Lightbulb the Electros.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my final post on here on the book club post. Yeah. Final team was Asgore the Reshiram, and Headlight the Electros kind of subbing in the same slot because Reshiram is in that final fight. Meatball the Darmanitan, Marge the Archeops, Sam the Gothitelle, Reese the Crocodile, and Huey the Samurott.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah,
that's a good team.
It was pretty cool.
That's a good spread on a team too, you know?
I think there was one specific type in the Elite Four that gave me a really hard time. I forget exactly. It might have been fighting. Fighting gave me a little bit of a hard time, just because I've got Dark on Crocodile. I've got Sam in there, but
that's right.
That's my only strength into fighting types. And meanwhile, like Archeops isn't as strong.
Archeops gets hit in neutral, doesn't it? Because
super effective because it's rock.
But isn't it flying also?
Yeah, but it still gets. I don't know exact. Well, maybe it is neutral. Either way, it gets hit hard enough to get really
it doesn't
punished.
Have a lot of defense, unfortunately. It's a very offensive attacker.
Right. What's really cool about that Archeops though is that in the fight against the Ghost type Elite Four, Jim, Chantal starts with Koffagrigus. So you put in Archeops, you hit with an Acrobatics, and then you get Mummy as your ability. So you don't have Defeatist anymore. So you just sweep with Archeops.
Ooh, that's
so sick.
Even that over who was Crocodile? So Crocodile, because Crocodile has
Intimidate or Moxie. Where it gets,
which one did you have?
I had Intim.
Okay, I mean Intimidate is also like just absolutely like broken asset ability.
Yeah, well, that's what another strategy I had.
Ability.
Another strategy I had is I would U-turn into Intimidate with Archeops.
Oh yeah.
And it was really really effective.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt. Man, that's so fun. And Black and White are games where it's like you play so much of the game and you're like scratching the surface when you've beaten like the standard story of the game, right? Like the post game is huge, probably one of the biggest post games, up there with like the Heart Gold and Soul Silver, like Gold and Silver and like Heart Gold and Soul Silver post game stories, where it's practically its own extra game.
Because you've got all the Swords of Justice, you've got I think Genesect, unless that was an event. You've got like Meloetta, I'm pretty sure.
There's like multiple cities that you haven't even
there's like
seen
3 cities
yet.
that I don't even get to go to until after I win. And I need to get to one of them so I can get leftovers for Meatball.
Ooh, yeah, absolutely.
Because Darmanitan is what is it? Sheer Force, but with Belly Drum, and then Superpower, Flare Blitz, and I think I need to get him another move. I might teach him Grass Knot for coverage. Dude, come on.
Busted.
Crazy attacker.
Way too good. Way too good.
So that's he's so cool, man. But yeah, that was my final team. It was a really fun time. But now that Gen 5 is over for the book club, I am starting up Pokemon X soon. I decided to go with Pokemon X over Pokemon Y. I was really stuck on this. It's a hard decision. I think I ultimately went for it for Clawitzer. I just like Clawitzer more than I like Dragalge. Not that I have any beef with Dragalge. I love Dragalge, but I love Clawitzer a lot more. You and I spoke in the pre-show about I'm a big fan because it reminds me of a Bakugan battle gear called Boomix that was just a giant gun. Super cool. It reminds me of simpler times. Cool. Big Gun is cool.
Big Gun is just cool.
Believe it or not, Big Gun is cool. So, yeah, it's weird though because I always liked Xerneas. Yveltal more, and I think Yveltal makes a little more sense for the story from what I've been told. But I like Xerneas a lot. It'll be my first time playing Gen 6 Gen 6 proper. The only other time I played Gen 6 was actually Oros. So it'll be cool to get into the original Gen 6 gameplay, get to experience some of that. And then as far as decks go, I have been playing, so I was inspired by Hunter at at Rally Squirrel playing a Ends Zoroark control list. And it is, oh man, it is so cool. I actually built it on paper already because I'm so into it. What's neat about this deck is that it utilizes some really unorthodox Pokemon to make it a control list more than a like attacking aggro Zoroark deck, right? So the standard Zoroark aggro deck right now uses Pecharunt EX and Binding Mochi and things like that to make you swing really big and do a lot of damage. But right now, what this list includes is 2 copies of Reshiram, 3 Monkey Dory, 2 Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, and 1 Ethan's Sudowoodo, which
that's so cool.
Is 110 HP fighting type Pokemon with Impound, where for 1 fighting you do 20 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon cannot retreat. What that allows you to do is you retreat lock indefinitely a lot of Pokemon with really strong fighting resistances. That's your Noctowls. That's your Mew EXs. That is a lot of really potent cards that are support Pokemon. That is your Monkey Dory as well, although Monkey Dory can attack still. But Mew can't really do anything because it either impounds you right back or it uses genome hacking for try to initiate or try to imitate. Try to imitate on Sudowoodo for 2 colorless says flip a coin. If heads, choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. So you're not going to genome hacking for try to imitate.
Oh, that's so sick. That's so sick.
So it's a really cool way to just make it a more control-y deck list. It uses my build uses 2 Luminous. I think you can use more if you want to. It also makes room for 1 Zerosix Machinations, which is really, really sick. But it feels really good to play. It's so much fun to just draw cards with Zoroark, man. It's so good. I love
Maggie's
doing it.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I hope Maggie's doing well.
She's doing quite well. She's interested in the Zoroark list, I'm sure.
I'll send it to her. She can try it out.
She would love it.
Outstanding. I can't wait for her to get her first challenge win with N Zoroark control.
Right?
Gotta start her out young, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's honestly, seeing that list in action last weekend was
scary.
Last weekend? The weekend before. It was very, very cool. It absolutely a scary list to go into, especially if you don't really know enough about it. Just because you're gonna be facing a Zoroark list, which already is a surprisingly difficult list sometimes. But then to have the control options there and to expect to play into an aggro list and to actually play into a control list, I think is even more unnerving, you know?
Yeah. It flips the entire matchup on its head, like most of the time, because the way you have to play changes.
So
of
course.
It's a lot of fun to play. I definitely encourage people to try it. I'll change the list some because right now it only uses like 1 ENS PP up. It uses like 2 Turbo Energize, but I feel like half the time when I want to use Turbo Energize, I'd rather be using Impound. So like, I don't know. Maybe I just need some more reps on it, but it's fun. I'll be tweaking it a little bit. I might play it to an upcoming challenge. I'm pretty stoked about it.
I'll have to dodge then.
Yes, certainly. Give me that Noctowl, boy.
Oof.
Can't wait. All right. Anything else with what we're playing this week? Any other comments on that?
Nothing else, man.
Let's get into our Frankfurt predictions and then we'll wrap things up here for the night. We have 3 predictions for Frankfurt Regionals, which is coming up. What are the dates on that? Do you know?
I believe it's this coming weekend, so it's going to be I'm let me double check that for sure, but
Yeah, is it Saturday the 13th and the Sunday the 14th, or the 12th
I
through the
believe
14th
that is the
rather?
case.
Seems good.
They
Frankfurt is in
generally.
Germany.
Mhm.
In case you
Yep.
couldn't tell by the name somehow.
Official dates are September 13th and 14th.
Gotcha.
This coming weekend.
Very
So that'll
cool.
be really exciting to see. Honestly, like that would be such a fun city to compete in general.
Yeah.
Just in terms of being able to go see something. I've only been to Frankfurt through the airport, and that's it. So I haven't been outside of the airport there. But you know, definitely would be a fun one. But yeah, let's talk about these winning decks. What are you thinking is going to be the number one deck there in Frankfurt?
Yeah. Are we talking? We didn't clarify this. Are we saying the deck that sees the most play, or the deck that takes it all?
The deck that takes it all, the deck
Gotcha.
that will come out on top. And remember, this is also going to be the first weekend with the new TCG time rules,
Oh, this is
which for
true.
listeners who don't know, the new TCG time rules are when a match hits time, it used to be that turns were called. And so you would go 3 turns, 0 for who was the active turn, and then 1, 2, and 3. Now, with the new time rules, when time is called, players will have 10 minutes to finish up the game between a turn 0 and a turn 1. So whoever is
Mm-hmm.
actively playing has turn 0, and whoever goes on to the next turn is turn 1. Once those 10 minutes are up, regardless of positioning in that game, if 10 minutes goes up and it's still turn 1, the second player did not finish that turn, it's still that time. That's it.
Yeah.
The game is called a time, and then whatever the outcome is the outcome. So in that case, if it's one game, if it's just on game 2, it's going to be a win for whoever has the first game. If it's a 1-1 match, it's going to be recorded as a tie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be different. With that in mind, I do want to mention that because this will be the first time Guardy has to play under those rules. And Guardy is
Yes.
notoriously a deck that goes to time. So that's why
Right.
I did want to bring that up.
So with that in mind, I'm glad you brought that up because it kind of changes the way I think about this. Previously, going into this, I was thinking, oh yeah, it'll probably just be Gardevoir again.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm more leaning towards something else. I think, oh man, part of me wants to be bold and claim that like a control deck will win
Ooh.
because with the new time rules, it could be very easy for a control deck to really capitalize on that, draw out game 1 into a really easy, like a really sound win, and then just make game
Mm-hmm.
2 last for a long time and secure that win by timing out your opponent. And that could be interesting. I'd be interested to see that come to fruition because I love seeing
Yeah.
control decks do well. But I don't know if there's
Yeah.
a control deck in the format right now that could be really good going into this metagame.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Golden Go is still very popular. Joltik Box is still very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. I think with some of those decks, it's going to be harder to have a control deck,
Yeah.
which leads me to
For
believe
sure.
that this is truly maybe the first tournament where Golden Go could actually take it just by virtue of more Gardevoirs being eliminated in earlier rounds. I think that
Okay.
the overtime rules will actually cause some of those decks to have to either play really fast and sloppy or just not make it into cut because they don't have enough match points, or not even make day 2 perhaps because they don't have enough match points.
Yeah.
So, and with that
I think that's
with it
a great assessment.
with that in mind, I think that's now I am sticking, of course, with the Golden Go prediction,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
it's noteworthy that means, if I'm correct, it's totally possible that Flareon or Ethan's Typhlosion could potentially do really, really well for this tournament if it
Yeah.
dodges some of those harder matchups. But
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't count on it.
The issue there with Flareon, unfortunately, is Flareon will still have to slog through the same field of Gardevoir and Dusk Pulse that everyone else will have to go through, and both of those are pretty notoriously difficult matchups for Flareon, especially in comparison to Dango. So even if Dango does end up being kind of a popular sort of pick, um, and ends up winning, I still don't think Flareon's will necessarily be the best option, and it would be really cool to see one in top cut. I don't necessarily think we'll see one in top cut.
Yeah.
My vote though for the deck that takes it all is Dragapult.
Okay.
The Dragapult Dusknoir list, but specifically, so I kind of almost want to say Pult Noir very specifically.
Yeah, I think
But
that's
if
valid. I think
if
we
you
can
want to
say
say it
Pult
as
Noir.
just Dragapult, maybe the grace of that, that's fine
No,
too.
I think that's hedging your bets a little too much. I think we'll call it Pult Noir just so that we can have
Yeah,
something to argue about next episode.
absolutely. Pult Noir it's the most popular Dragapult list. It was the runner up for Worlds. It's absolutely one of the most popular lists around right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think with new time rules, it has the advantage of being able to kind of do the same sort of game plan that Guardy wants to do, but much faster in
Yeah.
that sense. Both of them are very much like late game take advantage decks, but the difference between Gardevoir and Pult Noir is Gardevoir still takes a much longer time, and Pult Noir simply sets itself up into a disadvantaged spot and then will take a 5 price turn and win the game. And
Yeah.
even with Golden Ghost there being a challenge, I think that Golden Ghost will have to fight through a field of Gardevoirs, and they'll have to fight through a field of people playing, like you said, Typhlosion and Flareon to potentially offset it. And maybe that's enough that Pult Noir gets to kind of edge its way through and take number one spot just by virtue of having maybe to dodge some of those Golden Glows and some of those Guardies.
Yeah, I can totally see that. We've also got on here the number of Monkey Dory copies in Top Cut. I'm going to very clean. I'm going to call it a very even 3. I do not have high
Ooh,
hopes to see a lot of Monkey Dories. I think that's going to
okay.
be. Well, does Pult Noir play Monkey Dory?
Pult Noir does not play Monkey Dory.
Okay, I think there's going to be. And how many copies does regular Pult play?
If you're doing the slow Pult version, the pure Pult like slow Pult version, I believe that one was on like 1, maybe 2.
Okay, actually, in that case, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to a 5. I
Okay.
expect that we'll see 2 slow Pults and 1 Gardevoir in Top Cut.
Okay. If you're on 2 slow Pults and 1 Gardevoir, I would say put it at 6, because Guardies right now are almost assuredly going to be mirroring Riley McKay's list,
Right.
and those are on 4 Monkey.
Okay, then 6 it is. I think 6 is a safe bet for Top Cut. And
Yeah.
we're doing blackjack rules, so if you go over, you lose. But whoever gets his closest without losing, without hitting the number or without going over. How many
Yeah.
Monkey Dory copies do you think are going to be in Top Cut?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm going to say 8, and I think
8.
that because
Wow.
I think even with Guardy still having a harder time with the new rules, we're inevitably going to see probably 2 make it into Top Cut.
Okay.
The best Gardevoir players are still really, really good at the game and will be able to, up to Top Cut, win out a lot of these games before time or in the time overtime matches. The ones that don't may just end up winning based off of the game, like winning one game and not having game two come to a conclusion.
Sure.
You know, with those overtime rules. So it just is going to depend. It's going to depend on the matchups for those as well. But that's why I'm saying 8.
All right. I can see that. And up next, we've got our last prediction for TCG. We don't have any VGC predictions, which is we'll have to remedy that at some point. We'll have to get predictions down for TCG, VGC, and at least Unite. I don't really care for Go. I don't think that's a real game. But I'd love to see TCG and VGC at bare mins, and then maybe see if we can put Unite in there for some predictions. Maybe at the end of this season, maybe starting next season, we'll be able to... Or by the end of this season, I'd like to at least include VGC in our predictions. So for our final TCG prediction, we've got the highest placing Joltik Dango. And I'm going to say very generously day 1. I don't think we see any of them in day 2.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
I think that is a bad deck.
I don't think it's an amazing deck, but I think that there are players who are really good with this deck. Good enough that the average regional goer, like me, is not going to have an easy time, and they may just be able to win through a lot of day 1 matches, and probably a decent bit of day 2 matches by that. So I'm going to be giving it a top 64.
Top 64?
I don't think top 32. I don't think it's good enough to be top 32. We saw that it was obviously a very good deck in Worlds, but I think that it was more the surprise factor in Worlds. And I think since then people have kind of learned how to play around the deck. It does some really good stuff, but ultimately I think that it has a harder time in both of the things that it wants to do than the standard Joltik box or Dango lists. So trying to mix them ultimately does make both worse.
Yeah, I'd certainly agree with that. Cool. This has been a good episode. I feel pretty good about it. We tried a lot of new good stuff. We made some interesting predictions, and we kept it under 2 hours. Super exciting to see how Frankfurt Regionals goes. We'll probably report right after Frankfurt concludes, or we'll just do it the following day, depending on what time, because time zones and stuff are all weird. But I'm feeling good about this episode. I hope you at home have enjoyed. If you are enjoyed this episode, please on YouTube leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you're over on Spotify, leave us a good review. Helps us out in the algorithm over there. I noticed that our viewership is actually about even across Spotify and YouTube, so it's interesting that it's so evenly split. But we also do get a lot more interaction on YouTube. So if you're listening on Spotify, leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. If you like this new format where we're covering news across all of the franchise and doing more stuff like that, let us know. It's a new thing. We're trying out some changes to the formula that I'm really happy with, and I want to know what you think of them. Again, if you want to support the show and get access to these episodes early, check it out over at patreon.com/terminalcreative. That link will be again in the description below, where you can $1 a month gets you early access and access to N21 plus our bonus show. $5 a month gets you access to have your questions read on the show and an early look at the guest list for the month. And $15 a month gets you a producer credit, as well as all the other aforementioned perks. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching. I don't remember if we have an outro for this show, so
I don't think we do.
We have one established.
We gotta kind of cold close, I suppose.
Jeez, yeah. We'll have to make an outro in the near future. But Johnny, goodbye to you. Thank you for it's great to see you. Glad to have you here. Always appreciate you doing the show with me and talking about Pokemon. It's a lot of fun.
Anytime. Yeah.
Any plans for the rest of your night? Just going to bed. It's kind of late.
It's getting late, going to bed and getting up early for work.
I heard that. Me too, buddy. Well, folks, I hope that you don't have to go to bed right after hearing this, because I would hate for this to be the last thing you hear before bed. But goodbye to you folks at home. Take care. We'll see you next time. Peace out.